Truckers, brand new truckers, did you just graduate from CDL school? Are you being forced to go out on the road for weeks at a time and not make a lot of money? What if I told you you could be home every day? What if I told you you could make great money being fresh out of school? Watch the following video to understand exactly how that is possible. Today in our Blind Reacts, we have Driving to Thrive, dude named Robert, and he's got a video entitled FedEx Ground, Approved CDL Driving School, New Drivers Official List. I want to talk to some drivers and just make sure that they understand the opportunity that exists out there. But you know what? I bet Robert's going to do a fantastic job. So let's get it started.
Over the last year or so that I've been making videos, one of the main questions I've been getting from new drivers and drivers looking to get into the truck driving industry and would like to go the FedEx route, which I recommend, but I'm biased because it's the first company I've ever joined and it's the one that I've continued to work with.
It's the best.
But I personally am an advocate because I think it's good for people that want to get in the truck driving industry as a way into doing just about anything else in the truck driving industry. It's a great place to learn. It's a great place to grow. And as long as you're with FedEx, what a lot of people don't talk about is that this particular...
Whenever I'm in the yard, look at the mud flaps. Every mud flaps on trucks in a FedEx yards are always mangled.
But the main question that I get is, Robert, what are FedEx approved driving schools? I get tons of emails from my email that's always in the description below. And people always ask me, like, oh, what's a FedEx approved driving school in my area so that I could go into FedEx Ground as a brand new driver without needing 6 months to a year of experience? Well, today I'm coming to you with the answer. So my contractor, my boss, he emailed me the most recent list of FedEx approved driving schools for all contiguous 48 states. So I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to put it on this video. I'll probably put it like on the side or completely over the video. It should be like scrolling or
there
something.
It is.
Right now.
That works. These are schools on the left, and they're done by state.
Form, and you could.
So when you look at it, you see the state. I see Colorado. I see Connecticut. I see Delaware. I see Florida. On the left-hand side, you see 160 Driving Academy in Colorado, and where the city is that they're located at. So these are approved FedEx Linehaul driving schools, and he'll get into it, but it's done by state. So you just find the state, and typically you're looking to see if a school that a driver went to was approved.
Wait till I scroll through your state and your area, and you could pause the video there, screenshot it, and then you could look and zoom in to...
I can email this to you. Feel free to reach out to me if you want to copy this.
The name of the school, their phone number, their address, all the information is on this list. If you're looking to join FedEx, you want to go to a FedEx approved driving school and skip the 6 months to a year experience that's usually needed, this is the school you have to go to. Now, there's only one caveat, and that's for the 160 Driving Academy. You'll see a few of them on the list, but in some states, it's not posted. Now, once again, I'm not affiliated or associated with the 160 Driving Academy. It just happens to be the driving school I went to because they are a national chain. And if you don't see it on your list, but you know that there is a 160 Driving Academy in your area, it more than likely qualifies. It's almost certain. All you'd have to do is go to the 160 Academy or before or after and just tell your contractor to have them update their list because it's always approved. So they usually have locations all over the country in all major cities, but you got to double check with them, all right? But other than that, if you don't have a 160 in your area, this list is the only school you could go to where your contractor, local FedEx ground contractor will be like, hey, you went to this school? All right, we got you, come on board. So here's the list, guys. Go through it.
All right, let's explain what he's talking about, maybe give it a little more detail. To the drivers out there, when you graduate from school, CDL truck driving school. You went for 4, 6, however many weeks it took. What do you do? What jobs are you eligible to drive for? Well, it's not every driving job. There's many companies, and most companies won't take you. And there's reasons. Now, for the smaller companies, they can't. Their insurance won't let them add a brand new driver. You need to have 6 months, a year, 2 years in certain cases. So you have to go to the larger companies. The larger companies, sorry to say, they're going to pimp you out. They're not going to pay you a lot of money, and you're going to go out for weeks at a time, probably team, and it's just a way for them to lower their payroll. And then when you've been there 6 months or a year, they expect you to leave. It's just they're constantly churning through the new drivers, but because they're so massive and they self-insure, there's no insurance requirement, so they just take you on. And so it can be challenging for new drivers just to go make a decent amount of money and be home often. A lot of people don't want to graduate. They want to be home every day. Well, those jobs aren't necessarily available. So what FedEx Ground can do is, using this approved school, you can come in with 6 months experience as opposed to a year's worth of experience. So if you went to one of these approved schools and you also have 6 months verifiable experience, then you can start with FedEx Ground immediately. You can be home every single day. You can be on a daytime run Tuesday through Saturday, 500 miles. A great run, and you're working for a contractor who is subcontracting to FedEx Ground, but you're actually employed by the contractor. You get access to these great runs that are very, very driver friendly. They're desirable. And if you've been in for 6 months or you've been into 10 years, you're doing the exact same run, the exact same miles, and a contractor more than likely is going to pay very reasonable money to both of those drivers. So it evens out the playing field for new drivers. It doesn't take long. Now, there's another thing called the entry-level driver program, which allows you with zero experience. You walk out of one of these approved school, you sign on with a contractor, and in, I believe it's 7 weeks, you have to do a certain number of hours with a lead driver, someone who's approved as a lead driver, but you drive with them for a certain number of hours. I believe it takes 7 weeks, and you can be an approved driver immediately and also do those home daily runs. You don't have to go team once you've been through the system, the entry-level driver program. So for new drivers, you can get out of school and spend 7 weeks with a contractor and their lead driver, get trained up in the FedEx system, and then you're good. You're equal to everybody else. You don't have to go drive for one of the big carriers for a year and be gone for a month at a time. And then maybe you come home, maybe you don't. It's a phenomenal opportunity, and the money is very, very attractive. The entry-level driver program, it's something that the contractors just do not set up, and it can be challenging. You have to find that really good lead driver, a lead driver who just extends that company culture. And these drivers that are coming on, they don't come with bad habits. Some drivers you get, they were just trained to be very aggressive. They were trained, they worked for another company where they just have habits that sometimes you can't break. And so having a fresh driver that can spend some time with your lead driver and learn how to embrace your company's rules, the culture that you've established for your business, it's a great opportunity. And so I would encourage anyone, it's in the contract, the ELDP program, read it, figure out how to implement that so you're taking drivers fresh out of school and you're paying them less money. Let's be honest, they're brand new. They're going to work for less, especially during that period of time where you have a team driver that will take, if you're paying everybody, your team driver 75 cents a mile, maybe you're paying them 60 cents a mile, which is still a great deal for them because it's more money that they're going to get from those large carriers. Robert's saying is completely accurate. It's a phenomenal way for new drivers to get into the system. They just have to go to these specific schools. Now, why are these schools approved? Why is it just these schools? Why isn't it, this school or that school? Nobody knows. There's no rhyme or reason of why there's certain schools that are approved. For when I was running out of Woodbridge, there was one school. Smith & Solomon was the only school that was approved in New Jersey. And there's lots of great schools. So you'd call somebody up and if they went to Smith & Solomon, great, 6 months, I can have you on. Other than that, it's, oh, sorry, you got to wait a year. And what's the difference between Smith & Solomon and these other schools? I have no idea. But it's one of those things that you make it work for you.
Let me know if you got any questions. But for those of you looking, here's the key. Here's the answer to how you need to get in with no experience. So
Yup.
let me know if this helped. I'll see you. I ended the video a little bit too soon because I forgot to mention once again, as I have in other videos, if you are a brand new driver or experienced, doesn't really matter, and you're looking to get into a FedEx Ground contractor and you happen to live in or near Rialto, California, Santa Fe, New Mexico, Albuquerque, New Mexico, Ocala, Florida, Orlando, Florida, and Salt Lake City, Utah, I could get you a job if you live in that area and want to join FedEx Ground in that area, and you've gone to a FedEx Approved driving school and you happen to not have experience, but you went to one of the schools. You could email me in the email in the description below.
So they're using the entry-level driver program. You're going to team for a couple of months, and then you can go solo after that. It's a fantastic opportunity, especially if you're on a dedicated run. Drivers, you can be home every single weekend. The benefit about running FedEx Ground teams is the fact that they come home every week. The runs are designed. Out of Rialto, you drive to Hagerstown and you turn around and go back. So you're home on the weekend. You still got 5,200 miles in. So it's a great opportunity for new drivers to get in on a really good run, and you'll be solo very soon, sooner than anywhere else, I would imagine, and get a really good opportunity to get into a drop and hook, no touch, home daily position that are just not available. A very consistent run that is not available. Same miles every single week. Where does that exist? In very, very few places. FedEx Ground is a great place for new drivers especially.
I could get you in contact with my contractor, and he'll be more than happy to bring you on because he's always looking for people. He's always open to new drivers as well. So he's cool in that regard. So once again, guys, just wanted to add that in there. So get to your FedEx Approved drive.
Yeah, let's give Robert a follow, subscribe. I'm sure he has great content that's going to be insightful for contractors and for drivers. So that's all for today. Thank you.